Hey lovelies, I'm going to show you how to sharpen a GIF. This is going to be starting from scratch, so if you don't have any videos or anything like that you can sharpen, I would suggest, let me just get a tab up, going onto YouTube or something, finding the clip that you want. I would suggest going for obviously one that's unedited, so like that one, and then you click copy. Then I would go onto YouTube to MP4 in your Google, the first one on there, which is YT1S, and then click paste, then click convert, and then download. Once you've downloaded it, it'll come up here, or if you're using Firefox or whatever, and then when you would open Photoshop, then go File, Import to Frames. I don't have any videos, so other than what I've been working on, so I'm just going to take a Call of Duty one hypothetically, or what else do I have? I think I actually, have that one. I did a screen recording, I think, of, yes, I did. Let's just go there. I did a screen recording of YouTube just for the sake of, I think, for the video. Click selected range only. Click limit to every frame 2. You can make it 5, you can make it 10. If it says it's going to be too big, reduce it. Oh, that made it 5 frames. No! Click import. Do that again. That one. It's not going to be very big otherwise. I'm not saying it has to be big at all. But you want some length of the frame. Obviously I'm going to crop this down like so. And then once you're happy with that, you want to select all of them and then click down here and click this little button down here in the corner. Make sure you got your timeline up for this, because obviously without the timeline it's not going to work. So click that, and you're going to see you've got all these layers. So basically what happens if I press play, it just plays it like a GIF, but obviously not a GIF because it's not a GIF. You then want to select that one, press shift and select the top one, filter, convert for smart objects. You can click don't show again if you want to, click OK. So it's now technically 1 frame, and then this is where you can go in and sharpening. I don't tend to use actions for these, so the 2 ways that you can go about doing a basic sharpen, I tend to use smart sharpen. So filter, go sharpen, smart sharpen. Obviously you can go filter, sharpen. It should give me, there we go, that one's the one I want. Smart sharpen. Or you can do unsharp mask first. So how you do that is you go to filter, you go to sharpen again, and you go to unsharp mask. And you can do this whatever you want it to be. I usually go around about 80, 0.2, and around about 2. It's good introduction to sharpen filters in Photoshop using the unsharp filter first. And you can work with them while not really needing them, kind of thing, if that makes sense. You've obviously got a mount, you've got radius, you've got threshold. So a mount, obviously, when you sharpen an image, Photoshop takes the edge between the 2 colours and make it a light pixel. So that's what makes it a lighter and a darker pixel. So the amount of light pixels you get is how dark the pixels are, if that makes sense. If you set it too high on the amount, you're going to get a grainy, overly contrasted, and actually lose some of that detail. So yeah, stick to a lower number. I usually go around about 50 to 80, so try that. With radius, that determines the area that's sharpened. So a low radius means the pixels right next to the edge will be sharpened, and a high radius means a wider edge will be sharpened, if that makes sense. So if I go like that, see, did you see the brightness change? Whereas if I go lower, it's not as sharpening as much. So we could probably go around about there, to be fair. As you can see, it gets darker and then it gets brighter. So that's where that comes in. And this whole light dark thing that was going on about. So yes. Threshold basically determines how much the contrast is between the colours for them to be sharpened. So a higher threshold means a higher contrast areas will be sharpened, but lower contrast areas will be not. So as you can see like that. Did you see from the sharpened to the not sharpened? So setting it too low will give a grainy look but on low areas, but it'll make the noise stand out. So yeah, just keep it roughly however much you want it to be, and we'll go from there. So with any of the sharpen filters, I don't go over 200% and an 0.3 roughly in this point area, and a 5 and leveled, but depending 0.3, sorry, not 0.003, and a 5. I generally don't go higher, but it depends on what I'm gifting, that could be high or low. So then I will just adjust this a little bit more because I'm going to actually change it like I say. Then click OK, and you'll see it's come down over here. Then we can use Smart Sharpen. So Smart Sharpen is a little bit more fancier than Unsharp Mask is, but you get more options and you get obviously a desired effect, so whatever you want. If you then go File, go Sharpen, Smart Sharpen, you get this big box. Oh look, a very zoomed in version, that I don't need to go that zoomed in. If you click on here, click Custom, and if you click on the little thing, make sure you use Legacy and More Accuracy. It's not a must. It does take a bit longer, but the more accurate it basically means the more blur that's removed from your image. I would always suggest having preview ticked so you can see what you're actually doing. That might help. And then that way you can do it. So going with these, you don't really need them ones to be fair. Unless you're playing around with them. I'll show you that in a minute. Basically you've got remove, you've got obviously loads of options, gush and blur, lens blur and motion blur. So remove is the algorithm that's going to be used to remove that blurriness from the image. And there's quite a few image obviously options as you can see in front of you. So this kind of is the same kind of method that's used by Unsharp Mask with gush and blur. So if you've got a hazy type of blurriness, like putting on glasses, that's gush and blur. Lens blur basically sharpens the edges and details your images, but also reduces halos. And motion blur reduces blurriness that obviously occurs when you move like your camera, for example. So I tend to go with like lens blur, but it's obviously up to you how you want to do it. I think lens blur is the best, to be fair. Yeah. Then obviously, like I say, you can drop down, you can play around with shadows if you want to. But these are standard and you can ignore them. These are not standard. I thought that was, but that's meant to be 0. I don't know why that was 18. This is standard. That was not standard. So you can ignore them. You can obviously adjust them if you really want to look at them, but I would avoid them if ideally. Going with the settings, I usually tend to go around with 30 and 0.2. You can sharpen it a bit more if you really want to. Mine doesn't even look like it's doing anything, but it is. Let's go lens blur, then click OK. You can obviously sharpen it a bit more if you really wanted to, like sharpen, and then obviously when you press play, it will do that sharpening. Like that. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I need to show you. Basically after that you can just go export and go save to web legacy. Make sure it says forever down here. If you want to obviously resize it, you're more than welcome to. That's down to you if you want to resharpen it further. Resize it further. Then click preview, and there is your GIF. Obviously, you can't adjust timings on here, unfortunately. Not as far as I'm aware, anyway. If you do know, then do let me know because I don't know it. Yeah, you only get pan and zoom. Resolution 50. Loop playback. Yeah, I don't think you get a length. I think it's just fixed. So obviously if you then do it that way and click save as and then go sorry, I'm waiting for it to load. Click that one. Oh, I made it too big or didn't resize it again. Click preview. If you then want to click save as, save it wherever, you can then reopen it as a GIF. I swear I put that in pictures. Oh, I did. It's because it's thingy. You will know once you've imported, it will come up with like random file names. So just make sure you go down to click all formats, then re-import it in, and then obviously you can change it this way if you really wanted to. And then obviously go export, save for web. Click save again. I've done that way too slow. Still pretty slow. But you can see it looks a lot sharper than what it was. So I don't want that on a 0.3, but a 0.8 is too slow. I don't understand Photoshop sometimes. Why is that doing it even slower? Oh my goodness. Nope, that's literally going like super slow. And I don't know why. There we go. That's kind of like the perfect like thingy now. But there you go. That's kind of the idea that you're getting. Obviously, if you don't want to do it that way, then you can just click go back to that and then click flatten, convert back into frame. But you will lose your GIF, your sharpening effects. So I would just reopen it and then adjust it. I hope that makes sense. If there is any questions, let me know. I followed this originally because I didn't really know about it very much. The way I used to sharpen them was like one frame at a time until I found out about that. But I can show you some videos, excuse me, that can help. So if there is any problems, then let me know. But thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll catch you next time.